This is Kevin from Classic Game Room, and today we're looking at a console, this one, the SNS 101, aka the Super Nintendo Mini, or Super Nintendo 2, or Super Nintendo Junior. Didn't really have an official name, but the model number is the SNS 101, and this thing came out in 1997, about the same time as the 5th generation of consoles, like the N64, the first PlayStation, and the Sega Saturn. So this came out in stores as kind of a cheaper alternative to those. It came out at $99.95. So if you weren't ready to invest in one of the newer systems, you could get the awesome Super Nintendo in a redesigned model. So it's really similar to the other Nintendo, but there's a few minor differences. Okay, so let's get these side by side here. Here's the Mini, here's the classic Super Nintendo. So as you can see, it's definitely smaller, and it's also quite a bit lighter. But there's a few other differences here too. As you can see, the buttons are much different. Here you have power, so that goes on and off with a switch there, unlike the old one had this big rectangular button. And then the reset button is just a push button now. So you've got smaller buttons there, and then if you flip it back around, so here you have your multi-out, your video out there, and it uses the same AC adapter as the other Nintendo. And you can see here, this is the old Super Nintendo multi-out, the RF switch. So the Mini does not have an RF adapter. Alright, so it still uses the same controllers, the good old SNS controller there, so it just plugs in like that, as usual. And, oh, another difference too, is this one has an eject button, the Mini doesn't. So you'll just be pulling games in and out. But they still go in the top, just as usual. Let's put in the best game of all time. Got some Rival Turf. Yeah, Rival Turf. I think that guy must have borrowed his coat from his mom. That's awesome. But yeah, anyways, you'll have to pull it out. Doesn't eject like the old. That's kind of satisfying. I do miss that. I like the eject button on the Super Nintendo, but I guess it's another mechanism that could break. So we'll just go for that for now. Rival Turf, yeah! And also regarding this multi-out, this one actually had a downgrade from the original Super Nintendo. This version doesn't support S-Video or RGB if you happen to have one of those cables. The hardware is still inside there though, so if you're a crafty lad, this can be modified so that those cables will work. But otherwise, out of the box, you're stuck with composite. But yeah, other than that downgrade, this thing's awesome. And if you're looking to replace your old broken Super Nintendo, like this one actually is, I mean, this one looks like it's in good shape, but unfortunately it doesn't work anymore. Rest in peace, SNS 001. Welcome, SNS 101. But yeah, this thing's great, and since they're so much newer, if you can find a used one, it's probably still in really good shape. So yeah, other than that, yeah, definitely recommend this thing. And as we're celebrating 20 years of Super Nintendo this year, I can't think of a better thing to talk about today than the Super Nintendo Mini.